Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. Today I'm super happy because I'm going to paint the Ancient from the Space Marines Company Heroes, and I have to say that this is the miniature that I really wanted to paint the most, because when we look at this miniature right now, we can see a really cool looking Space Marine with a lot of details and a lot of things going on here. He's like super cool looking one, and of course we have also this nice cape. But of course, every single Space Marine in this box is a cool looking Space Marine with a lot of details and things going on. The main difference is that with this one we have this huge banner with a lot of possibilities, and that's why I really consider this one the most eye-catching one from the unit. And that's why I consider this one to be actually like a challenge, because we have to do it quite properly, because of course when we look at the unit we are going to look at this one for sure, and that's why I really think that it's going to be a really fun and cool project. And of course at this point of the video I would love to mention that this is going to be the fourth member of the company heroes that I'm going to paint, and on my YouTube channel you can find already videos of me painting other miniatures like the company veteran with a heavy bolt rifle, the company veteran with a bolt rifle, and of course the company champion, so you can go and take a look. And of course after painting the Ancient I'm going to paint the captain that comes in the box, so you can consider subscribing and watch the video when it comes out. And with that being said, let's go back to the Ancient, because of course today this is the main character of the video. And before I proceed with painting the miniature, I would like to mention the changes that I made from the instructions of the box. I gave him a different helmet. This is the helmet that was supposed to be for the captain, but I decided to give the captain a different helmet. And I had this one as a leftover, and I was like, okay, I'm going to give it to the Ancient. I will give him like more honors, more marks, more things, and it looks cool on him, so I'm happy with this choice. And of course I gave him a different backpack. This was supposed to be the backpack of this gentleman right here, and this was supposed to be the one of the captain, so of course the captain will have something completely different. And I like that this one will also have like this symbol on the backpack, because in the original box everyone has something on the backpack here, something similar to this one, except this one I get it that he has this symbol here, but because of consistency I'm quite happy with him having one as well as being part of the squad. And of course with that being said, we can start actually painting the miniature finally. Too much talking for now. And as usual, this is going to be a Black Templar, so of course I'm going to prime the miniature with Chaos Black from Citadel. And then on the base, I don't want too many things going on the base, so I will just apply the technical paint, and for that I'm going to use Astrogranite Debris. And once I do that, I will be able to start with this fantastic project. Miniature primed, technical paint dried, and now it's the most difficult part, because of course this miniature has like a lot of detail and we can see a lot of things in the inside here. There's people that is more intelligent than me, and then they will do sub-assemblies, they will paint each individual part and then glue everything together. Like this it will be much easier to paint, but no, I choose the hard way, and I will try to, it's going to be messy, so that's why I will try to paint the things that are most in the inside first, and then going up to the ones that are more in the outside. And of course to make things easier, I will paint first the Ancient and then the banner, because like this I will be able to show it nicely and not like having everything too far away. And of course the first thing that I'm going to paint is the symbol in the chest, that it's so hidden that it's almost not visible here in camera. I will use for that LED Belcher. I will use this one as well for this part of the banner, and maybe some symbols and things around. Now that I'm going to use the color, there are parts that I can use this. Then we have also this thing hanging on there, and for that I will use gold. I will use Balthasar gold, and of course I will use this one as well for the skull in the back, and maybe some detail around. I will see right now. And then of course I will use 2 grays for the parts of the Minotaur that I want to be white, because of course it's always nicer to have gray in between the transition from black to white, because applying white on black directly, it's not the most efficient thing. So first I will use Asian Grey, and then I will continue with Dawnstone. I will do this with all the seals that we can see here, and also with the rock here as well. I will try to use it in this case of scenarios. Maybe even I will do this skull here right now. I will see. Maybe I will do it later, because I will have to do right around. And then of course it's also not super visible, but for example we have the belt and we have some straps and such. I will use Morphan Brown for that. And that's going to be like my starting point, so let's hope that it will be kinda not too messy and it will go well. It's okay, because later I will paint the parts that I will paint accidentally right now, so I will be able to cover all the mistakes, so it should be okay. Let's start. I have to admit that it was much more complicated than I expected, because of course we have a lot of things going on here. We have 3 layers of Space Marine. We have the main body in the back, then we have these 2 seals coming out of the cape, we have the cape itself as well, and then we have both arms holding the banner. So it was complicated to try to paint everything, especially the details in the inside. But I think that I managed, and I will try to fix it a little bit later when I add the shades and the highlights and everything, so it should be okay. Right now what I wanted to have is some nice base colors, and the cape was also complicated because it's really important to me to have the inside part of the cape in a light whitish color, because of course the power armor is going to be black, and I really want the power armor like to pop out nicely. And if we have like this whitish background, I think that it's nicer. But anyway, we can continue now painting, adding more base colors. And right now of course I will use corn red, basically for everything that I want to be red. That is going to be a lot here, because of course this is a Black Templar and it's a veteran, so of course the weapon is going to be red, and the shoulder pad, the details are going to be red as well, like I did with the other veteran. But in this case I will also paint the cape. As you can see, I left some purity seals for the end. There's another one in the weapon there, because it will be much easier to do it later rather than now. And of course here I have as well some lead belcher, because now that I'm going to paint the weapon, there's going to be metallic details in the weapon, and I would like to paint them after I paint the weapon red, because of course this is too close to too many things, so I have to be extra careful, and I would like to do it in the most convenient possible way. So with that being said, of course the eyes as well, I forgot that now that I'm looking at the eyes. And with that being said, we can continue painting. base colors applied to this ancient, and here in the back, in the cape, I made the mistake of covering everything with red. I should have kept shadows, because like this we will have nicer transitions and the details will be more visible, but as you can see, it's not the end of the world. We can just add more black paint over these areas. Later I will try to shade it a little bit more, but it's like that. It's not the end of the world. We can try to fix these kind of mistakes, and it doesn't look that bad, so that makes me happy. And now, of course, I would like to start shading the miniature before I start with the highlighting. And no surprise, I'm going to use Null Oil for basically all the metallic elements. I will use it as well for the inside parts of this cloth that he has. I think that it will be nicer than any other kind of shade. And I will use it also like in the separation here between the arm of the cape, or you know, this kind of areas, like for example this back in the symbol. And maybe I will try to use it here in the cape as well, depending on how I'm feeling. And then I will use Agrax Earth shade, and I will use this one for the leather that we can see here in the belt and in the weapon, and also all the seals of the miniature and the gold details. So with that being said, we can continue. For the next step, I would like to do some more details that I didn't do earlier, because of course it will be more complicated than now. And I would like to use Balthasar Gold for this small detail at the bottom of the tabard that we can see there. It's not super visible, but it's there. And of course I would like to use it as well for this detail at the bottom of the cape as well, because I think that the gold with the red should suit quite nicely, so I want to do it like that. And then I will use some Wraithbone, but this time I will dry brush the base of the miniature. Finally, I can start with the highlights of this ancient, and for that I will do everything at the same time, because I want to focus in the banner, because I will use the same colors that I did with the other members of the company veterans, so you will have the link to the videos in the description, so I will try to go a little bit quicker here. And for the red parts of the miniature, I will mainly use Evil Sunz Scarlet. I mean, everything that we can see right here, not much to share about that. Then for the metallic parts that I used with Lead Belcher, I will use Stormhost Silver. And for the power armor, that there's not much visible power armor here, I'm quite happy about that, to be honest. I will use the usual colors that I used, Dark Reaper in every single edge of the power armor, and then Fenrisian Grey in the areas that are going to be like the most exposed, of course. Then for the golden parts, I'm going to use Retributor Armor, because this is a much more shiny gold and it looks nice in my opinion, the combination of this one with the Balthasar Gold. And finally, with the whitish parts, I will try to use Corax White a little bit. Not too much, I don't want this miniature to be too bright, but I will use this one. So with that being said, I will proceed. This is where the fun begins, because I'm going to consider my ancient as painted, and now it's going to be the turn of painting the banner. I have to be honest with you and say that I left the banner for the end, because even right now I'm still not 100% sure about what I want to do with this banner. Because of course, having so many possibilities can be a disadvantage in some occasions, and this is one of them for me, because I can do so many things that I'm not sure about which one is going to be the best or which one will I like the most. So it's going to be a little bit more complicated than I expected deciding the color scheme. For sure there are things that I know. I want the main color of this banner to be black, because of course we are talking about Black Templars, and I cannot imagine a different color for the banner rather than black. So the main color is going to be black. For sure in the back it's going to look kinda like this, with this metallic color, and the back is going to be black. But I'm thinking a lot about this. We have like this mark square part in the middle, and I had some doubts about that. I'm not sure if to leave it black as well or adding some red color in the inside. For sure, I mean right now I know that I want to paint this the metallic parts that are holding the banner with lead belcher, and I know that I want this like circle part around with the lead belcher as well, because I want this metallic catchy color in the end. So I will do that directly, and I know which parts I want to be gold. I want this square part around gold. I want these sides, these things on the sides of the skull, I want them to be gold as well, and basically every skull here in the top I want it to be gold. And what I know as well is that the pretty seals, I will use the usual color scheme as well as this part here. I will apply first Dawnstone, because in the end I will apply some white, and the transition will be nicer if we use some gray. And I know that for the center I will use white, and then I will use the Black Templar. I will paint a Black Templar cross over it. And while I do that, I will continue thinking about the inside, but I will start with the things that I really know how I want them to be painted. So like this, I will have like a better image of the banner, so I will decide if to add the color or not to add it. I will see. Let's start painting. It was a very good idea to start painting the parts that I knew which color I wanted to use for them, because right now I have like a better vision of how the banner is looking. And yes, I consider that maybe having everything like full black, it's going to be a little bit boring, and I consider that having the red in the inside, it's going to make it more interesting in the end. I mean, the outside is going to be black still, and this the back part is going to be black as well. But having a little bit of red here, it will make it more, more catchy, I think, more eye-catching. And that's why before I continue painting, I'm going to add corn red in the inside of the banner, inside this square part that we have here. And then after that, I will continue with the things that we have around. I will use Wraith Bond to paint the things that I painted gray here. And then I'm going to use lead belcher for the inside of this kind of cross looking thing in the inside of the banner, and that should be like the base color. So let's do it. Finally, I'm going to be able to paint this separation between the black and the red parts of the banner. And for that, I would like to use Balthasar Gold as well, because of course I want this to be like to feel very precious. And I want to give a lot of value to this banner, and that's why I'm using too much gold. Much more gold than usual. I don't like to use too much gold painting in my Black Templars, but in this case I feel like it should be nice to have something with a lot of let's say fancy gold color. And after that I would like to add some shade to the banner itself, because after this I will proceed with some details and highlights, so I would like to do the shades right now as well. And of course I will use Null Oil for the metallic parts, like for example everything that we have here clearly metallic, and this inside part. And most of all I'm going to use Agrax Earthshade, because I would like to use it for the gold parts, the separation between this border that I'm going to paint with gold right now, and as well all the seals, this sign over here, maybe this on the sides, and here as well also the pretty seals. There's going to be a lot of that one, and after that it should look nicer, or at least not as plain as it looks right now. So let's continue. Wish me good luck, because at this point I'm going to do the freehand in the banner, and of course here in the middle I'm going to do the Black Templar cross. I'm going to do exactly what I do in the Black Templar shoulder pads, so of course I already made a video about that. I will leave the link in the description. And in the seals and in this part over here I will try to make it look like it's written. And in this main part I will try to write Templars. I cannot write Black Templars because I think that it's going to be too long, and it's not going to look that nice, or as nice as I think that it could look if I try to do it. So I will just write Templars, and hopefully it should look nice, so let's do it. I have seen better, I have seen worse, so I'm going to leave it like this for now. I needed like 4 tries with the letters. If you look at them too close, they look like, see, they are not the nicest. I have to sharpen more those edges. But if you look at it from this distance, like this now, it looks nice, so it's okay. I'm super happy with the cross, and I'm super happy with this part right here. And yeah, it looks nice. I'm happy with the result. And now finally it's the moment to just apply the final highlights for the banner. And no surprise, I'm going to use the same ones that I use for the Space Marines. So of course for the black I will use just some Dark Reaper. I don't want the banner to be too shiny in the black part, so I will just use this one in the parts that it's like more folded or exposed. Then for the white, especially the white here in the bottom, I'm going to use Corax white. Then for the parts where you can see the reds and it's folded and such, I will use a little bit of Evils and Scarlet. For the gold, of course, I will use Retributor Armor, the same one that I use here, to make the same effect, make it a little bit more goldish. And finally, for the metallic parts, I will use Stormhost Silver because of, so as I said, I'm going to do exactly the same that I did with the Space Marine. I just wanted to remind the colors that I'm using for the highlighting, and with that I can proceed to finish this miniature finally. So this is it, this is the final result, and I'm very happy to introduce you to my Ancient from the Space Marines Company Heroes. And I have to admit that today I'm a little bit proud of myself, because this miniature looks better than I expected that it would look painted by me. I mean, when I saw this miniature for the first time and I imagined about how I will paint it as a Black Templar, I didn't expect it to be like this. I thought it would look worse. So that makes me very proud actually. I still consider that some points they could be better, like for example this Templars over here. As I mentioned earlier, this was like my fourth try, and it was complicated. It's still a little bit messy, but of course I will try to improve it in the future. For now, I had so much trouble for it to make it look decent that's it. It looks decent. I'm super happy about that. And I have to say, this miniature was the most fun to paint over the company heroes, because yes, there's other miniatures in the squad, without counting the captain, that is going to be the next one that I will do. But the other three are just Space Marines with more details and more decoration or more stuff going on. But with this one we have like this, we have a lot of players, we have this beautiful cape, we have this huge massive banner full of detail as well. So definitely it's like such a cool looking miniature for every army. So of course I hope that you enjoyed the process of me painting my Ancient for my Black Templar army. And as usual, if you are still here, please consider giving me a like and subscribing. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.